Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here on this Friday with this mountain weather update, and here you go. We got it. A foot of new snow up at the Winter Park ski resort up there, as expected, and it is going to be a great day. Some light dry powder up there. I think I've got another perspective. Here's Lunch Rock, and there it is. Gorgeous morning, still some light snow coming down. Could still pick up another inch or two of accumulation up there across Winter Park, Mary Jane, and I want to take you to Loveland ski area. They're reporting 10 inches of new snow in the last 24 hours, and a gorgeous view there this morning as well. You could still pick up another inch or two of accumulation, so it's going to be a great powder Friday. The Continental Divide, the Front Range High Peaks, the foothills of Colorado, and the west side of Denver, south side of Denver picked up anywhere from 4 to 12 inches of accumulation. I think I've got Breckenridge here. Yep, there it is. There they are, moving the snow around at Breck. I think they picked up about 7 inches. So good timing with the snowcat coming through. Two of them, in fact. No, wait, three. Yeah, so 7 there. Should be a great powder day up on the 10-mile range. Love seeing that. Okay, what do I want to do next? Let me show you what radar looks like across the west. So I'll take you into Colorado in a second, but the next storm system, the whole pattern is shifting up to the Pacific Northwest. You can see that conveyor belt of moisture in Washington State and also BC. That's where a lot of the precipitation is going to be over the next 5 to 7 days. And snow levels are going to come up to higher elevations because it's going to be warmer. Talk about the impact for that here in a second. Into Colorado, you can see the spin around the area of low pressure. This was the same storm that came through Salt Lake yesterday and dropped all that snow up there in Salt Lake and the Wasatch. Same rotation coming through Denver, and we've still got snow across, obviously, Denver, I-25, I-70. And like I said, we could still pick up another inch or two up over the high peaks in the Continental Divide of Colorado. Up into the northeast, not a lot going on. Some lake effects, some light snow left over, and that's about it. Let me show you what water vapor looks like across the west. So in the low levels, the drier areas and the oranges and the reds. Your moisture is in the whites and the blues. And, let me mark our storm in Colorado. There it is right there. So that'll be moving out into the plains today. Now, pretty big storm up here, Pacific Northwest. There's another storm behind it. But like I said, all of this is now being directed up into this area. So all of this will ride the jet up into there for quite a while. There's probably one storm around the 24th or 25th that may break through some of this and run through Idaho and the Tetons and then kind of cruise out. In fact, it might be 23, 24, 25. I'm forecasting heavy snow for the Tetons as that flow kind of breaks during that time frame. So that's the one exception in my forecast. All right, here are my bullet points. So we've got Colorado snow this morning. Then the moist pattern, that conveyor belt of moisture, will hit the Pacific Northwest BC and also central to northern Idaho and northwest Montana, all in the equation. 221 through basically 225. And there are definitely rain snow line concerns for me with this because of the amount of warm air. Revelstoke, I think you could see rain snow up to 4,500 feet at times, maybe even 46, 4,700 feet at times. So that means you're going to have to go pretty high up to get the best snow out of this, but there's going to be a lot of moisture streaming in. In Idaho, I think you could see rain snow up to 5,000 feet. So there are base areas that will see rain snow mixing out of this scenario. Here's my snow timeline. Best odds of snow for Big Sky, the Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, interior BC, the Pacific Northwest, Tahoe, and the Northeast. So for Big Sky, it is light afternoon 223 into 24, and then it's heavy on 225. In the Wasatch, I've only got light accumulations coming in the immediate future. In the Tetons, there's that heavy window, 223 through 225, and I've got over a foot of accumulation coming for Jackson Hole and about a foot for Grand Targhee. In Colorado, it's light from here on out. Interior BC, there's your best period. 221 into the morning of 225. And again, the rain snow line concern, but it's going to be heavy precip. Pacific Northwest 221 through 225. Rain snow line concerns, obviously. And then there you go. Tahoe and also the Northeast. Let me zoom in, drill down just a little bit here on Alta ski area. This is the forecast mediagram at about 9,000 feet. So notice it's pretty dry. There's about half an inch of snow there on the 23rd as that storm kind of breaks through the pattern. But that's it. And the winds do gust to about 30 with that passage of that front on Sunday, the 23rd. But otherwise, guys, it is dry. Today it's dry. It's crystal clear up there today at Alta, Snowbird, Solitude, Brighton. Enjoy the new snow that we got over the last 24 hours. Yesterday it snowed, so enjoy that. 22nd, 23rd, there's your forecast for the 24th. It dries back out. High temps up there in about 21 today, 29 tomorrow, and about 33 on Sunday. So warmer. So there's a push of warm air out ahead of that front that comes through Sunday afternoon. Okay, let's go up to Wyoming and take a look at Jenny Lake here and that whole corridor. Um, this is at about 86 to 8,700 feet, so anywhere from basically Jackson Hole ski area to just north of the Grand Teton at about 86 to 8,700 feet. It's dry today, it's dry tomorrow, and then here comes that snow. This model wasn't picking up on this yesterday, but I said it's going to be there, and it is, and it's finally starting to see it on the 23rd, but it's not seeing it yet on the 24th or 25th. It's going to snow both of those days. So this already puts down 6 to 7 through a short time. Like I said, it's going to be over a foot. And so the winds increase. Temperature max today at 22, 26 tomorrow, 28, and then it will eventually turn colder. So just the bottom line is 23 through 25 is going to be a window up there. Okay, looking at the jet stream here, up at about 30,000 feet in the atmosphere, this is the steering wind for a lot of the storm systems that move around the globe. In particular, it's important to kind of see what the flow is here to determine who's going to get the best pipeline of moisture across the west. We'll start it at lunchtime today, and I'm looking for the brighter colors in this. I'm looking for the oranges and the reds, and the dips in the jet as well. So at 11 o'clock today, you can see the dip in the jet over Wyoming and Colorado. That's our storm system. And then it moves away out into the plains. And then, guys, it's a whole different scenario. So here we are right in the middle of that moist flow for the Pacific Northwest, BC, northern Idaho, northwest Montana. You can see that's where all the bright colors are. Otherwise, we've got high pressure ridging across the desert southwest. You can almost see the arcing of the jet. Keep in mind the one caveat here, there's a little storm that breaks through the flow, and you can almost see it happening. There's a little bit of a kink between 23, 24, and 25 that will come down and favor and dust parts of Idaho. And there's a lot of snow for the Tetons, obviously, but it may brush just a teeny tiny bit the Wasatch and the northern mountains of Colorado, 24, 25. So here we are early on the 25th. Pacific Northwest BC still getting a lot of this. There is the afternoon of the 25th. You can see a little bit of a dip kind of sliding through a lot of the northern tier and Wyoming, and then it moves out into the plains. And then massive high pressure right here across the west. Pretty big dip out to the east. That could be a pretty big storm system for the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. That is late on the 27th. But look at the west. I mean, it looks like there might be a cutoff low trying to make its way through California. This is lunchtime on the 28th. But otherwise, it's going to be big high pressure for a lot of the west, southwest. Okay, let's look at snow accumulation over time. So on this map, um, we'll start this at lunchtime today, and what I'm looking for here, so the blue colors are under 3 inches of accumulation. The greens are 3 to 6, yellow 6 plus, red is 10 plus. You can see the residual snow over Colorado, and also the loading up there in parts of BC, the snow that is just starting to build. So by late today, it's out of Colorado and it's gone. Snow up in the Pacific Northwest, dropping down into parts of Idaho and northwest Montana. Here's early to lunchtime on Sunday. Many of the same places getting nailed. Northern tier. Now watch what happens late on the 23rd into the 24th. It drops down into parts of central Idaho, and then it starts to target the Tetons, and it continues to snow into the 24th. This is lunchtime on the 24th. And this drops it a little fast for my liking. There's another wave that comes down, and it does catch that. So snow continues into the 25th in the Tetons. But look at the big snow up in the Pacific Northwest. Continues up there. That's where the pattern favors. So let me back it up one notch. Here we are late on the 25th. Notice the snow. It might brush the northern mountains of Colorado with very light accumulations late on the 25th. And then that moves out. And guys, it's massive high pressure across the west. Let's see what happens around the 28th. Yep. There's a little cutoff that tries to move through California. And then look to the Great Lakes. That's the big dip in the jet I showed you. That there might develop a storm system up there. And see some snow sliding through. All right, so let me just show you my official forecast. Here are my numbers, basically all of today through the 25th. Another maybe 2 or 3 inches in the Wasatch with that storm that kind of breaks the pattern around 23, 24, 25. And I've got a foot to 16 inches for the Tetons with that flow. It's going to be a good time period um, up there for the Tetons. In Colorado, pretty light, 1 to 4 inches of accumulation across the central to northern mountains. The fours that I have there for Winter Park, Loveland, and Summit County, probably 2 of that may fall this morning. And then we're kind of left with 2 roughly in the extended forecast. Nothing for southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. I've got 10 up for Shasta, 5 for Mount Ashland, but Mount Ashland, some of that's going to be rain unless you're very high up in the mountain, very high up. Pacific Northwest, about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet. Depending on elevation, you're going to have to be higher to get the better snow out of this. Interior BC, generally 1 to 2 feet of accumulation. I really haven't changed much, but like I said, rain snow line concerns. That's going to put that rain snow line up to potentially 4,600 feet at times up there through Revelstoke and a lot of interior BC. And some of it does drop down. This is great to see towards Sunshine Banff and also Marmot Basin. I'm liking Brundage up to Schweitzer. Just keep in mind about a 5,000 foot rain snow line at times. And that may be the case with 4 to 5,000 foot rain snow line in northwest Montana. So that's really going to, it may not be quite that high, but even if it's close to 4,000, goodness, that's going to push that snow way high up on the mountain. Okay. Let me see what it looks like up in the Northeast. All right, so this is all of today through the 25th. Pretty light, up to 4 or 5, 6 inches in extreme northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. New York State about 5 inches through Snow Ridge with some lake effect, and Whiteface at about 5. I don't have anything for Massachusetts. It's all pretty light in that area. Oh, I've got some nice cameras that I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye. This is a nice, here's what I was talking about. This is Solitude. It is crystal clear in Utah this morning. Enjoy the snow you got yesterday. One more view. This is Lone Peak up in Big Sky, up in Montana. Looks like a nice morning, but man, it looks cold up there. Maybe even a little bit windy. And one more. Here's Jackson Hole. Looking nice this morning, but clear. A little bit of valley fog. All right, guys, we'll end on the big western map here. Pattern shifting. It's really going to favor the northern tier of states, the Pacific Northwest, BC, Idaho, Montana, and eventually the Tetons. Thanks for tuning in here today. Always appreciate it. Take care and have a great day.